And Ethiopian Tourism Operators Association says peace agreement brings new hope to the sector. Hello and thank you for joining us. You're watching Addis News Hour. With the news, I'm Tabitha John. Stay with us. The foreign ministers of Germany and France have expressed keenness to reinforce bilateral ties of their countries with Ethiopia. Catherine Colonna, French Minister of Foreign Affairs, and German's Foreign Affairs Minister Annalena Baerbock and their delegation has conferred with Ethiopian President Sahle-Work Zewde today in the palace, dealing with pertinent and current matters of Ethiopia in particular. Their visit has come at a time when peace-building efforts in Ethiopia are taking positive trajectory. In this context, humanitarian assistances and reconstruction schemes are well on progress in affected areas in which both Germany and France are interested in taking share and soliciting funds. President Sahle-Work Zewde has thanked both foreign ministers for their concern and visiting Ethiopia. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has held in-depth and fruitful discussions with France's Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs, Catherine Colonna, and Annalena Baerbock, Germany's Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs. Following the meeting today, PM Abiy stressed the in-depth and fruitful discussions are reflective of the strong relations Ethiopia holds with both France and Germany. The foreign ministers of France and Germany are in Addis Ababa for an official working visit to Ethiopia. The objective of the visit is to support the peace agreement signed between the federal government and TPLF in Pretoria, South Africa.
This is Explore Ethiopia, a program that talks about everything Ethiopian.
The name ethnography is writing about culture. So every displace.
Ethiopia already got by its name, it is international conference to be held abroad, not in Ethiopia.
With the images, with what's going on here in Ethiopia, and the past and the present.
So you show those phases of life in terms of different ethnic groups and how they celebrate each phase of life. And as I said, through not only artifacts, but stories.
The first floor of the IAS Ethnographic Museum represents a lot of history. It includes the childhood, the adulthood, and from days and beyond.
So this museum is absolutely amazing. It's amazing because we've got all of the different parts of Ethiopia's history and culture.
A long time ago, I talked to my friend, I want to visit Ethiopia and visit Emperor Haile Selassie. Today I'm here.
In addition, France and German foreign ministers also conferred with the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Ethiopia, Demeke Mekonnen, and gave a joint press briefing. To tell us about that, our staff reporter, Daniel Kasahun, joins us here at studio. Welcome to the studio, Daniel.
Thank you, Tabitha.
So what can you tell us about their visit and what issues were raised in the deliberations and the joint press briefings?
All right. Both France and Germany, the diplomatic relationship with Ethiopia, it is made over a century, almost 125 years, and it is a robust relationship Ethiopia has with both those European countries, France and Germany. And the discussion with the Prime Minister was explained to local and international media outlets, and they have given a press conference. And the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, the Foreign Minister and Deputy Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Demeke Mekonnen, told the press that Ethiopia is doing well in its current affairs. That is a peace process, a peace building process, and he told us that Ethiopia is always committed for the peace and stability of own country, and Ethiopia is desirous to have its people living peaceful and decent life. That's the commitment of the Ethiopian government. He mentioned their visit was not, it cannot be taken as a simple issue. Their visits, they are, both France and Germany are dominant in the European Union, and their visits cannot be taken as a simple thing. He told us that their visit indicates the bilateral relationship of Ethiopia with both Germany and France is going to be, is transforming from engagement to consolidation. So it's getting momentum from time to time, and he has thanked both the German and French ministers. He thanked their country for standing with Ethiopia in its trial time, its challenging time. They have been with Ethiopia, with Ethiopian people in the past 2 years, where Ethiopia was undergoing a conflict or warring situation. Both countries were supporting Ethiopia, particularly in humanitarian assistance, and that was continuously being channeled to Ethiopia during that time, and that was very interesting, and he has acknowledged and he has thanked both ministers for their country have supported Ethiopia in this challenging time, and the visit has come at a time when the peace building process in Ethiopia is taking a positive course, and this is very instrumental for Ethiopia, and the ministers, both the German and Catherine Colonna is a French Minister of Foreign Affairs, and German's Foreign Affairs Minister is Annalena Baerbock, and they have said Ethiopia is their strategic partner. Their concern is not only for Ethiopia. They want the Horn of Africa to be stable and peaceful. The stability of Ethiopia, they said, is not only about for Ethiopia. It's for the Horn and for the entire continent. That's what they told us. So they have concern about what's going on in Ethiopia. If things fail, the Horn of Africa will fail. If Ethiopia fails, the Horn will be disturbed, and as Ethiopia is the seat of the continental organization, the African Union, Ethiopia has a dominant place in this continental organization. So failure in Ethiopia turns to failure in the Horn, and it affects the Horn of Africa, the continent of Africa. That's their concern, and they are keen to support Ethiopia in everything it's doing in order to build peace and in order to maintain stability in this country. And their concern is both, it's also the concern of the Ethiopian government. They have commonalities. So they have come to Ethiopia to tell their concern and to play their significant role in the peace building process, particularly in the peace building process and in the humanitarian activities being undertaken in this country. Now, relations of both countries, Germany and France, is transforming. So this is opportune time for Ethiopia to strengthen its bilateral relationship with their countries, not only in the diplomatic or in the humanitarian spheres, but also in trade and investment. They want to bolster the trade and investment relationship between among them in a better manner, and they don't want Africa or Ethiopia to export its raw materials. They want Ethiopia and the continent to add values in their natural resources and export to the other part of the world. Tomorrow they will have discussion with Musa Faki Mahamat is chairperson of the African Union Commission, and they will have a nice discussion, I guess.
Yeah, on continental matters.
On continental matters.
All right. Our staff reporter, Daniel Kasaun, thank you so much for your elaborate explanations.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti, Burhanu Tsagaye, underscores that trade and investment activities that strengthen the old friendship and development integration of Ethiopia and Djibouti are growing significantly over the past 3 years. It is known that Ethiopia and Djibouti have enjoyed long-standing cooperation and strong people-to-people relations. Shagao Yamatao presents Ethiopian News Agency's file.
Ethiopia and Djibouti have enjoyed strong ties and cooperation in multiple spheres, including railway infrastructure and trade. Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti, Burhanu Tsagaye, reiterated that efforts are well underway to further strengthen the long-standing friendship and development ties between Ethiopia and Djibouti.
Ethiopia's and Djibouti's partnership have reached at a higher level. We have an excellent partnership in bilateral, political, economic and people-to-people relations. The two countries are inseparable entities to each other and have one people despite having two governments.
The ambassador also noted that the two countries have a strong relationship based on mutual benefit in fields of roads, railways, electricity and water infrastructure, adding particularly the trade and investment activities being carried out by both countries as the institutional and individual levels have grown significantly over the past years.
The two countries have invested a lot in economic spheres. It is the largest of all Ethiopia's neighboring countries' investments. There is a strong cooperation in the banking sector, food and beverage, fruit and vegetable export, trade, construction and energy sectors. Also, more than 90% of Ethiopia's import and export trade is being carried out via Djibouti ports. Furthermore, the two countries have invested on railway infrastructure that greatly benefits the two people.
The bilateral relationship between Ethiopia and Djibouti is at a higher level and stated that work is being carried out by both countries to strengthen the existing cooperation in many ways, he indicated.
The bilateral people-to-people and development relationship carried out by the two governments are an exemplary to integrate the East African region. There is strong people-to-people and economic integration with the two countries. This shows the commitment of the two governments. This is what we notice from the two countries' relationship.
In just 6 months, more than 2 billion liters of fuel, more than 229,000 metric tons of steel, and more than 57,000 container goods have entered Ethiopia through Djibouti port, it was learned.
Welcome to the land of origins. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is pleased to serve all your traveler banking needs. If you have money from any of these 16 countries, you can convert it to local currency by visiting our nearest branch. Alternatively, our secure Forex ATMs accept cash exchange, or if you prefer using your cards, we've partnered with Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay so that you can withdraw cash from our local ATMs or make cashless transactions at thousands of local POS partners securely and with confidence. We are linked with more than 700 global banks through our direct SWIFT address, CBE Teta. We also work with 16 international money transfer agents, out of which Tune and World Remit enable you to make direct deposits into our savings and current accounts or our popular CBE Burr mobile wallet. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the bank you can always rely on.
ይገኙበታል።
ያሚውም የመጣ ከገርነ ንግስተ ሰባ ጋር እያያዘራሱ ለምንድነው እንትን የተባለው ማይለምን የተባለው ዘንዶው ነዚ ውሃው ይጠጣል ማለት ነው። በርቀት ያዩን ሰዎች አይኑን ጎላጎላ ያለ በጣም እንትን ነበር ትላልቅ ነበርና አያችሁት አይኑን ሲሉት ሎሚ ያክላል ሲሉ እዛ ከዛ የተነሳ ነው ማይለምን የተባለው ነው የሚሉን። እንግዲህ በታሪክ የቆየ ነው ማለት ነውና ከዛ ጋር ነው የሚያያይዙት።
ይሄ ስፍራ በ1996 ዓመተ ምህረት በፈረንጆች አቆጣጠር ማለት ነው የአርኪኦሎጂ ዳሰሳ ተደርጎበት ነበር። የዳሰሳው ሪፖርት እንደሚያሳየው ይሄ ቦታ በቀደምት ሰዎች ማህበረሰብ ሰፍረውበት እንደነበረ ይገልጻል።
Welcome back. The Ethiopian Tourism Operators Association says the peace agreement has brought a new hope to revamp the tourism industry affected by war. The association president Andinet Felek underscored that developing new tourism destinations is vital to benefit from peak tourism seasons. Goshimeliso has the details.
Ethiopia is one of the top established destinations of tourism in Africa. It has a long and fascinating history, a rich and diverse culture, breathtaking landscapes, and a jaw-dropping range of wildlife. Ethiopia's peak tourist season is from September to January, and particularly festivals like Masqal and Timkat are very popular among foreign visitors and global tour agencies. In particular, international agencies consider January the most vibrant and busy time to visit Ethiopia due to its colorful festival and the cool and dry weather during this month. Talking to Meet ETV Show, President of Ethiopian Tour Operators Association said the peace agreement has brought a new hope to revamp the tourism industry affected by the war.
Currently, I would say we are seeing very positive prospects. For instance, I would say even the ease of the COVID restrictions, the opening of all the borders. And as you said, the ceasefire and the peace agreement has really brought hope, a new hope, to restart the tourism industry.
Developing new tourism destination encourages the sustainability of tourism products, she said.
To develop a new, destination, you need to have all the infrastructures, which is actually beyond, the capacity of the private sector. So this is where, there needs to be even a policy intervention to develop, new destinations. It also balances, by the way, it really encourages, inclusivity. It also balances, the job creation, and also it also encourages the sustainability of our products, because some of them are really highly concentrated. And as I said, we haven't been able to segment our market. So I personally believe some of our products should serve only the niche market.
Andinet expressed that the government has shown a paradigm shift to understand the contribution of tourism to the economic sector, adding that the government is building a new tourism sites across the nation.
And the sector have seen a huge paradigm shift on the importance of tourism, which was really backed up with huge moves like a shift from the social sector to the economic sector. And now we have a standalone tourism ministry. And we also see a huge, many mega projects, which are all, a positive signs and which shows, a call of action at least from the top leadership. So I would say I would take this all as a positive opportunity.
She reiterated that Ethiopia should utilize exhaustively its tourism potential to benefit much more from the sector.
Compared to the potential that we have, and compared to what our competitors have, and when you see where they are today and where we are today, you can tell that we haven't, really tapped the opportunity. So I cannot say that we have really utilized our potential as a tourist destination.
This is Explore Ethiopia, a program that talks about everything Ethiopian.
The name ethnography is writing about culture. So every displace.
Ethiopia already got by its name, it is international conference to be held abroad, not in Ethiopia.
With the images, with what's going on here in Ethiopia, and the past and the present.
So you show those phases of life in terms of different ethnic groups and how they celebrate each phase of life. And as I said, through not only artifacts but stories.
The first floor of the IAS Ethnographic Museum represents a lot of history. It includes the childhood, the adulthood, and from days and beyond.
So this museum is absolutely amazing. It's amazing because we've got all of the different parts of Ethiopia's history and culture.
A long time ago, I talked to my friend, I want to visit Ethiopia and visit Emperor Haile Selassie. Today I'm here.
Welcome back. The Ethiopian Diaspora Service disclosed the government of Ethiopia will continue its efforts to help the diaspora engage in the overall national agenda of their country. While speaking with the Ethiopian News Agency, the Director General of the Ethiopian Diaspora Agency, Mohammed Idris, commended the Ethiopian diaspora's intense show of solidarity to their motherland during trying times. Kasaun Chane has the details on this.
The Ethiopian Diaspora Service announced that in a bid to ensure Ethiopian national interest on the world stage, the Ethiopian diaspora community, in a very patriotic way, has engaged itself in gallantly defending a country. National interests evolve in time and situation. He noted that now the peace agreement has been reached, and he also called on the diaspora community to work to convince the international community to be a strong partner for their successful implementation.
The basic principle for our diaspora to engage with their country is the national interest. And by national interest, it depends on the time, on the situation. So during the war, the basic national interest for us was protecting the legitimacy, the sovereignty and unity of Ethiopia. And the challenge was, it was challenging the sovereignty of the country and also the unity of its people. So the role of our diaspora was to maintain, to keep, and also to show their solidarity with the state, with the people, with the sovereignty, with the unity of Ethiopia. Also, they did it in a perfect way, in a very patriotic way, in a very strong and continuous manner. They show their solidarity by protesting, any campaign against the country, and also by lobbying various institutions, thousands of electorates, government officials abroad, and also by demonstrating and by appearing on the mainstream electronic media, and also by writing on the print media. They show their solidarity in favor of the national interest of their country.
He said that the Ethiopian diaspora needs to strengthen its engagement not only in times of trouble, but also in times of peace, and to help the diaspora community understand the content and aspects of the peace process.
After the reform, as you remember, the the major speech His Excellency Dr. Abiy during his diaspora outreach program in America and also in German Frankfurt, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and also in South Africa, Pretoria. The major point he focused was, let's build bridge and demolish walls. So with this narrative, we are trying to bring more diasporas together despite their attitude, despite their orientation. So our diaspora engagement principle is not based on the supporter and opponent narrative.
He also called on the diaspora community to contribute their share to water sustainability, the peace agreement, stating that the diaspora have been intensively contributing to the development and image-building activities of Ethiopia. According to him, the recognition of the Ethiopian diaspora who played an immense contribution to their homeland will be held on the 26th of January 2023 in the presence of high-ranking government officials.
In business news, through its digital banking service Telebir, Ethio Telecom revealed that it has made transactions worth a total of 166.1 billion birr in the economy over the first half of the current Ethiopian fiscal year. Frehiwas Tamiru, CEO of Ethio Telecom, gave a media briefing on the company's 6-month performance. She claimed that Telebir has amassed more than 27.2 million customers since its launch to meet the need for digital financial services and ensure financial inclusion. Kazaun Chani has the rest of the story.
Ethio Telecom announced its newly developed 3-year growth strategy at the start of the new budget year after successfully completing its previously implemented 3 years bridge strategy with outstanding results of 75.6% growth in customer base, 76% growth in revenue, 104% growth in foreign exchange revenue, and 142% growth in net profit. The platform has also generated an income of 82.5 million birr from transactions totaling 166.1 billion birr, an economy during the past 6 months as per the CEO. According to Frehiwas Tamiru, CEO of Ethio Telecom, the company earned more than 33.8 billion birr during the current Ethiopian fiscal year, which runs from January 1 to December 31st, 2022. The revenue has increased by 5.6 billion birr since the same time last year, while the company's net profit for the first half of the fiscal year exceeded 8.1 billion birr.
ትልቁን ድርሻ የሚይዘው 67.7 ሚሊዮን ደንበኞቻችን የሞባይል ቮይስ
Mobile voice contributes 47.4% of the overall revenue, followed by data and internet 28%, international business 8.4%, value-added services 6.5%, infrastructure 2.2%, and the remaining 7.5% from other sources. The revenue was earned despite several obstacles, including service interruption brought on by security issues, fiber and copper, cable cuts, vandalism, delays in land acquisition, a lack of foreign currency, rising inflation, problems with commercial power acquisition, fraud in the telecom industry, a lack of suppliers and contractors' effectiveness.
According to her, the lead approach was implemented for the first time this fiscal year and will last for 6 months. Following the strategy's introduction, Ethio Telecom's overall subscriber count surpassed 70 million, exceeding the projected customer number by 98.6%.
የደንበኞቻችን ቁጥር አሁን ላይ 70 ሚሊዮን ደርሷል።
Our company lead implemented its 3 years growth strategy, reaching 70 million consumers and achieving 98.6% of its goals, as well as generating 33.8 billion birr in revenue and achieving 96% of its goals. It has demonstrated an increase of 15.1%, which translates to an increase of 9.2 million consumers over the same period in the prior fiscal year. We're expected to share that we are working hard to meet the demands of our clients by introducing new technologies, network construction, and new goods and services that will help us reach our objectives for the upcoming fiscal year.
She claims that there are now 67.7 million mobile voice subscribers, 31.3 million data and internet users, above 862,000 fixed services subscribers, and above 566,000 fixed broadband subscribers. Noting the telecom industry has a 65.7% density at the moment. It was also noted that international companies generated $64.8 million US in foreign currency throughout the time period, exceeding a goal of 90%.
Welcome to the land of origins. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is pleased to serve all your traveler banking needs. If you have money from any of these 16 countries, you can convert it to local currency by visiting our nearest branch. Alternatively, our secure Forex ATMs accept cash exchange, or if you prefer using your cards, we've partnered with Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay so that you can withdraw cash from our local ATMs or make cashless transactions at thousands of local POS partners securely and with confidence. We are linked with more than 700 global banks through our direct SWIFT address, CBE Teta. We also work with 16 international money transfer agents, out of which Tune and World Remit enable you to make direct deposits into our savings and current accounts or our popular CBE Burr mobile wallet. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the bank you can always rely on.
I just want to tell you guys, Akwaba, Karibu, welcome to Ghana!
My name is Princess Hatia. I am the globe-trotting princess and author. Welcome to my city, Accra. Accra is the capital of Ghana. Now today I'm taking you on a tour to various places in the city. We're currently at the Independence Square in Accra. Now the Independence Square is the second largest square in the world after Tiananmen Square. Accra has